This trash can is perfect for me.
I promised to give the siblings some privacy.
That sounds sensible enough. Since you went through the trouble of...
Oh? Is it that?
The look on your face is
You're right. Siblings already know what they need to, and they've made their choice. Before we begin, let me reintroduce myself. I'm as Gallagher, the history fictionologist. I humbly extend my greetings.
history fictionologist? So what?
Well, don't worry. Almost everything I shared.
I double-checked with Micah.
Thank you for your understanding. Now let's get down to business. I'm sure you're all wondering why I went through the trouble of setting up this battle. Well, it all boils down to something very familiar.
The Stellaron? But how is that possible? Penacony is a free-flowing interstellar...
You're totally correct. So, I wish that were the truth. But if that were the case, the sweet dream doesn't come out of thin air. If you think of the memory zone as the sea, to achieve this feat, without the help of an emanator of remembrance, and that's not something you can achieve with a simple wish. It requires vast quantities of knowledge. In Azdana, the planet of
The planet?
It all started a long time ago, back when the Watchmaker and his crew liberated the frontier prison. They faced countless challenges. The Stellaron first entered the Azdana system during the war. The Nameless warned everyone against... The turning point came after Tiernan's death. With two of the Nameless gone, the Watchmaker had to go to the front line. By the time a representative from the Montor system's family arrived at the Watchmaker's call...
And I suppose the family happened to possess the knowledge to...
Not just that. They knew far more about the Stellaron than the average person. Those three eras were known as the Age of Dreaming. The Watchmaker...
Then...
Remember the island in the ocean metaphor? The truth is, the Stellaron was never truly sealed. It existed in a different form with its people's lives. The opulent dream is built upon the decay of spirits, with a toxic elixir called pleasure, confusion, laziness, and cowardice. Weaknesses that plague humanity were... Sadly, we realized this far too late. By then, the family had a firm grip on Penacony. At my wit's end, I had to use the power of the Enigmata and sought refuge in this chaotic realm. Dormancy. That's its real name. We exploited a loophole.
So this is the true meaning of the impossible. You sent out invitations and...
It's not just that. Above all, I wanted to see what happens when the major factions engage in a struggle for the legacy.
So, the legacy...
If you want to consider...
If that's the case...
That's a question for Mr. Wings. The Stellaron is still under the family's control, and as the head of the Oak family... Are you done talking?
As I suspected, it's the embodiment of the family.
As for the person who employed its power, it is in fact...
Well, that was easier than I thought. Did you conduct...
Correct. I didn't have other options. The Dream Master has been, moreover, Mr. Gopherwood has been kind to my sister and me.
What do you mean by that?
To be honest, my brother and I are also victims of the cancer of all worlds. We grew up, but I can't just stand by and watch Mr. Gopherwood become an enemy. I won't step on that stage and sing, no matter who the traitor is, or where the paradise in our...
Indeed. As the head of the Oak family, I'm responsible for ensuring Penacony's promising future. I'll fight alongside you. We'll put the Charmony Festival on hold and...
The enemies you are about to face aren't like this old dog here, who can barely... Since our interests are aligned, why don't we team up? Maybe, just...
We have always been following in the footsteps of our nameless predecessor.
Yeah, we Nameless won't back down for... that one...
Rest assured, sitting on the sidelines isn't in our nature. Mr. Sunday, Miss Robin, I'm willing to...
Thank you.
Thank you all very...
The Charmony Festival is about to start.
Everyone, let's gather over here. We still need to make some preparations. I may have been quick to step up to the plate, but...
Huh? Even you're...
He's the leader of the families of Penacony, and he has the entire power.
Maybe you can just...
No, that won't do. Even if we count Robin as an ally, something felt off about Mr. Sunday. You're still carrying the keepsake, the IPC on... Huh. As I suspected, this chip adventure, if I'm right, he intends to use it to track your location or contact you when needed. As it so happens...
Aventurine? Is he still...
Remember what I said earlier? Working with the IPC is a way to keep... If negotiations go south and the family show their true colors by going after the Stellaron, The only question mark in all of this is Aventurine's current status. But the IPC is always...
Good luck to you, Will.
Well, you take care too.
Spoken like a true hero. Even if the Dream Master is innocent, the family's corruption runs deep.
Don't you have something else to tell?
Why would you say so?
Before we departed, the conductor asked us to inquire about the 3 nameless in Penacony. We've already collected, if I'm not mistaken.
It's not enough to say meet. I've been watching over you ever since I received the reply from the Astral Express. And I've seen the great... Miss Himiko, were you the one who...
Yes.
And you two, young nameless.
I don't know much about my...
You're full of energy. Please send my regards to the... As for the last nameless, he embarked, disembarked, and embarked again. On his deathbed, he told me to find the Astral Express and deliver an invitation to come with me. Now...
Back here again.
Sometimes I feel like you're still alive, old friend. Like you've still got so much to say and do. I've kept my promise. Brought the future trailblazers you've waited so long for. I don't know why you were so obsessed with that train. Don't let us down, old man.
What's happening?
Go ahead. His resting place lies in the garden. The first and last name, Mikhail Char Legward.
Sure enough,
The legacy he left behind was a dream bubble. I believe, after all, when I checked its contents, I found nothing inside.
Well, let's...
Wait, seriously? How could a dream bubble?
That old man always had this strange belief in the nameless and the trailblaze. And I could never figure out what was going on in that old man's head. But this
Don't think that's the case, Gallagher.
Don't start getting all...
Just as Mikhail believes in the nameless of the future, we unconditionally believe in the nameless of the past. There must be something contained in this dream bubble. It's just we haven't figured it out yet.
Well, I'm a follower of the Enigmata. That's why I understand what faith...
Can I borrow your pet? I need to make a trip back to Golden Hour and check something at the Dreamscape sales. It's for Mikhail. And for...
Welcome to the Reverie Hotel.
Greetings. We're the Nameless from the Astral Express.
The Astral Express?
Yes, my companion's already checked in. My name is Don.
I see, but your companion said you...
No.
And you...
Me?
He's my fellow trailblazer.
Oh, I see. Another one of the Nameless had a similar situation. Since there's a precedent, it shouldn't be a problem. Just get... I'm sorry, dear guests, but it seems I'm unable to...
What do you mean?
My apologies. This is the first time I've encountered a situation...
How about this? Give me their room number.
I'm afraid that's not possible. I need to verify both of...
How about you just wake up someone?
I'm sorry, but there are strict rules regarding forced...
So nothing works, huh? What's your solution then?
Please be patient. We need to contact your...
And now it seems you need to confirm our identities before you can
It seems...
Oh, fudge. Look, nothing personal, but if you...
Please calm down, dear guests. I do recall that Mr. Sunday, the Oak family...
I don't think she's trying to give us a hard time.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Something doesn't seem right. I need to leave for...
Sure thing. Going home seems pretty worried about his companions. I should give him some space. Stressing out about it won't help anything.
Greetings. I'm Cody of the Bloodhound family, head of security.
Hello. So, there's some... Do you think there's anything to be worried about? I've traveled all...
I'm not sure where you heard those rumors. At present, all of the families are focused on making sure the festival starts on time. Even the Dream Master himself has arrived. So don't...
She doesn't appear to be acting.
Room rates...
Everything... The Charmony Festival is at the...
Hey!
Well, I didn't come all the way here specially for the festival. Honestly.
Well, back in my home world, Anaria, we have festivals like that.
Oh, come on. The Charmony Festival is a once-in-an-amber era event.
Well, you never know, right? Maybe on her... Anyway, let's forget about that.
Unsettling things? What could possibly...
Relax. With a big event like this, there's bound to be lots of...
Oh, that's a real... Well, looks like I won't get any fudging clues out of these. Back already?
Hasn't she returned yet?
Nope. Neither the staff nor the guests seem to know anything.
I agree. Another unusual thing is that the Oak family is supposed to be in charge of organizing the council and I walked around the hotel, but didn't meet a...
Well, I'll be forked. If I remember
We should...
not so fast. If you ever...
Are you suggesting...
I wouldn't say do nothing. But let's stay put for now. They don't want to attract unwanted attention from certain outsiders, so...
If I were a family member, I'd find an official excuse and keep the surprise factors here.
Of course, we don't need to walk into their trap. I gave a backup plan.
A secret signal.
That's right.
Oh, a concrete object can indeed help the memo keeper establish a connection.
I'm sorry, but it's one of my quirks. I have two...
How do we get into the VIP lounge?
This is where my street smarts come into play. You're the...
Yes, I am.
We're the Nameless from the Astral Express. We wanted to check in, but we've been waiting here forever without...
Is this your...
It's called...
I apologize for the inconvenience. Please wait while we try to contact Mr. Sunday.
Just...
Wow, this bar's something else. Certainly worthy of the planet of festivities.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, I have an
Has Donna's White Oak.
Oh, no.
If someone had reserved such a beverage, I would definitely remember it. It sells for hundreds of thousands of credit.
That's strange.
Then what should we do now?
Oh, no need to rush. Let's grab some... Let's see what kind of juice malts you all...
Wow, that's the What can I get?
Anything you recommend is...
Then I would recommend today's special, Glass Village. It's classic Soul Glad mixed with Laboon juice.
Ah, this flavor. Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Ooh, really hits the spot.
Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Is that...
As long as you're satisfied, dear guest.
Let's give the memo keeper another half system hour. If she doesn't show up...
The situation is unclear. Something must have happened on the planet of festivities. It's unusual for the followers of the Harmony to invite other factions, let alone the IPC and the...
Actually, there's something else. As you know, the faction that follows the path of the hunt are some of the most dangerous bolts. And isn't there a saying among the Cienshou people that...
Talking. Do all the talking.
Well, you know what I mean. Even though the Galaxy Rangers have been out of sight for years, but that Acheron lady, she doesn't seem like a lunatic at all.
And you believe that someone like her would have an...
I'm not entirely sure, but I do have my suspicions.
Anyway, what worries me more are the anomalies within the family. Unless the invitations weren't sent by them. If that's the case...
Maybe it's Shipei the Harmony pulling the strings. People do stupid things out of irrational impulses. They abandon their principles when self-interest is involved. They believe in, but Eons don't.
You think Shipei's...
It may not necessarily be Shipei. There's definitely some higher entity. It's much simpler when you boil it down to the eons and paths. Like how Lon always follows the path of the hunt, or...
But in my opinion, Akavili's fall
Oh, so you're saying the Nameless now have to take responsibility?
Exactly. I believe it's more about doing your best to choose the right path for yourself.
I don't know what you've been through, but I agree that people must take responsibility. That's why the Galaxy Rangers need to uncover the imposter. Just in case. I have a backup plan if the memo keeper doesn't show up.
You sure have a lot of cards.
Well, going back, by the way, when you were...
What's your plan?
It's simple. We just grab some hostages and you...
No need for that.
Wait. Are you getting scared?
Are you leaving, esteemed guest?
Huh?
Ha ha. Looks like you are a bit...
Oh, right. Sorry, my memory's not the best. I'll be waiting.
No mistake. That's her message to you. She knew the hotel.
Well, looks like we took a detour, but...
You're back? 2 guests just boarded saying they were looking for Boot Hill, so...
Oh.
2 guests?
Yeah, or 2. Look, we welcome all passengers on the Astral Express.
My apologies, conductor. It was an oversight on my part. I assumed you were already acquainted with the garden. Given the chaotic situation in Penacony, the Nameless...
You are the memo keeper.
Pleased to meet you, Dan Hung. I've seen you in others' memories. And as for Boot Hill, this is our first face-to-face meeting.
Finally, memo keeper.
That's precisely what I intend to do. But before that, please allow me to introduce myself. My name, I'm sure she knows it better than I do. Greetings. I'm...
What? You Garden of Recollection shirtbag!
I apologize, but she did that at my request. Due to certain reasons, I have been exiled by the family.
To be honest, it was more like stalking than helping.
I asked her to guide me to a place beyond the family's reach and to contact a few trustworthy individuals. Namely...
Trustworthy? Son of a nice... How about this? I'll put a few bullet holes in your head and see what secrets...
It doesn't have to be like that. I'm willing to answer all your questions, but not right now. If my cover hadn't been blown, we might have had more time, but at the moment, we don't have any other options.
No other options?
This is the only way I can ensure everything. I kindly request an immediate warp jump at...
This passenger is
As far as I can tell, she's not a threat, and...
I've briefly traveled with your companions and know their whereabouts, Dan Hung. Please rest assured, your nameless companions are safe, but they need... As for Boot Hill, you may have guessed. I've been waiting for you. Galaxy Rangers are known for their elusive nature and limited contact with each other. So this was the only way I could reach out to you. Only by doing this can I find a true Galaxy Ranger and fulfill a long-standing promise to return his relics to their rightful owner. Someone once told me, raindrops are said to be the tears of the gods, shed in response to the sorrows. So, how long has this rain been?
I used to believe, just like you, that it looks like the god you mentioned. Well, mortals who walk the paths are like sailors on a vast ocean, and for some, their presence...
Like those...
Sin-thirsters, the obsessions of the Path Striders. They emerge from the nihility. They were once my dear companion.
Are you watching over them?
Watching over them? No. It was a brutal war. A crusade that shook the unwavering determination of the Hunt followers persists even in death. As for me,
but you know these...
Does this seem... Well, some tasks have to be done.
I can help you.
For what?
For the meaning of the nihility.
I see. Thank you, stranger.
Before we part ways, It is true that their actions and even their entire lives may... If this is what the departed ones expect.
A good question. And what I do know is that one day, someone will stand...
When I appeared as a child, as I grew into adulthood.
I humbly request your blessings.
Come to me, my kinship.
As you wish. I have faithfully served the Alfalfa family for nearly a decade, promoting the path of the harmony to the out of laziness. I lied and claimed that everything was ready. Although the head has dismissed me as punished.
Do you sincerely repent? Have you examined your soul? Are you willing to it? Very well. Show your dedication and
praise Sheikhi.
Next.
I wholeheartedly...
Rest assured. I have implored their presence to be with us.
Oh, great. You know,
I see.
My children were starving. And I hoped they'd have a chance at surviving, but the Bloodhound family got wind of it. They're on my tail.
The family is ready to forgive all sinners.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Next.
Hey, long time no see, Mr. Sunday. The most
I have sought their presence.
Sure, let's just get this over with. That's it. Nothing more.
Do you...
My sins? Well, starting to sound like a saint, huh? You think nobody knows what your precious family has done? About the watchmaker? Huh? Don't kid yourself, Featherbrain. Those dream chasers might be fooled. Before you start spouting off your holy verses, answer me this. Where does the power of the Oak family... Well, I've spent enough time in confession today to enter the Harmony's paradise.
Oh, revered Triple, who can judge the strong when they... Who can vouch for the weak? Who can comfort the purest souls if the strong defending the weak is... Then who?
Brother? Brother, are you...
I'm... fine.
You've been working non-stop on the Charmony Festival, Mr. Sunday, and no one could have predicted this.
No need to worry about troubling anyone.
It has always been our wish to make everyone happy, so... We'll do our best, even if the negotiation does not go smoothly. I'll refuse to go on stage.
I'm relieved. You know, since arriving in Penacony, we haven't had any contact with this Dream Master himself. I'd heard of the heads of the five...
The Dream Master rarely grants an audience, even for us.
Perhaps you'll be the first guest to meet...
Let's hope we can...
Indeed.
It's about time. We'll have to get...
Don't worry. I'll be...